Hi, my name is Camille, and this is The In-Between. Welcome back. Life is moving too fast. There's no time. We get to the end of the day, we are exhausted, and there's still things left to do. And then we get up the next day, and we do it all over again. There's just no time. And there's especially no time to be quiet with yourself. This is slow down to listen. We are moving as fast as technology. Of course, the problem is we're human. And as a result of moving as fast as technology, we have become quite disconnected to our own natural rhythm, our own cycles, our own pacing. We are so caught up in all the things we have to do, all the things that are happening in the world, the headlines, the news, social media, the to-do list, the shopping, the job, right? You could just feel it just listening to me run through that list. That's life. And that's why in the new design model, and especially at this point in your journey, in the in-between, this invitation invites you to slow down, to listen. It's a choice. It's a mindful choice. Sometimes you gotta jab the stick in the wheel to stop the wheel. And if that's your case, do it. I've done it and I still do it. Another thing that's a sign is overwhelm. You'll find that in the inner landscape. Overwhelm is that red flag. It's the burning bush. It's the sirens that are telling you, you're going too fast. I'm overwhelmed. Please slow down so we can listen. Sometimes we just need to hear our breath again and just reconnect with that. Other times we put our hands on our heart just to reconnect with our heartbeat and remember, oh my gosh, something has been beating my heart and breathing me all day long. However, in the in-between, we want to go a little deeper than that. We want to slow down enough so that we can listen to that still, small voice within. We want to slow down to hear the inner knower because we cannot hear the inner knower that is trying to give us directions, flashes of insight, deliver some clarity to us. We can't hear it if we don't slow down enough and disconnect long enough to listen. And that is the simplicity and the beauty of this invitation to slow down and listen. Now, you may say, well, look, Camille, I'd love to slow down, but I can't. You just described my life. I'm going from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. By the time my day is done, I do collapse. I am exhausted, and I do wake up the next day and do it all over again. I understand. I respect that. That is your life. I get it. And I bet we can find just a little place in your schedule where you might be able just to slow down a little bit. For example, I often talk to my clients about the lunch hour. In today's society, we don't even take a lunch hour. Or what do? We eat at our desk while we're still working. What would it be like if you actually took a lunch hour? What would it be like if for a half hour of that hour you went into your car and just sat there, reconnected with your breath, looked in the mirror and reconnected with yourself? Maybe that's where you can slow down, even if just for a few minutes, to breathe, to connect, and to listen. When I worked in the restaurant business at a very busy restaurant and I was a server, oh my gosh, I used to go into the bathroom, close that door, and just do exactly that. Look in the mirror, connect with my eyes, connect with my breath. That was where I could slow down And I did listen and I did hear myself. And sometimes I said to myself, you got this. Take a break. It's going to be okay. Whatever you need to do, wherever you can do it, just be willing to start looking at what your mind says is a full schedule and there's no time. And see if you can even just find 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes to slow down and listen. Another place where you might be able to find this time is when your day is over. Now, granted, I know that oftentimes there's something happening right after work, but maybe there's a night when there's nothing happening. And before you start your car and drive home, you can use that moment to not just slow down, but stop. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Put your hand on your heart. Reconnect with yourself and your body. Turn that rear view mirror towards you and look right at yourself. Call on your inner knower. Say to it, this is it. This is my time. I'm slowing down to hear you. What do you got to say? Or if your life is so incredibly busy that you don't even have that kind of time, then just talk to your inner knower. Talk to the one within and say, look, you're going to have to find a way to get my attention. Come to me in a language I understand. Show me a sign. Make it so obvious I figuratively trip over it. This is where you are in the journey towards who you are becoming. By becoming a new version of yourself. That's what the invitation is all about. That's the part of the journey where you're at. You already know what you used to do. You already know that up until this moment, you've been living a life where you don't have any time. But now you're willing to challenge that because you've become a priority. Your self-care is non-negotiable. You get to a point where you're like, I gotta find time to slow down so I can listen. When I was teaching meditation workshops to parents with children, I would always say to them, bring your kids into the practice. One of the most effective things is to have your child be like the door watch, the gatekeeper, so that nobody could come knock on the door for the few minutes that you were in the bedroom or in the room having your meditation. Better still, bring the little one in with you and teach them how to breathe. My point is that if you're willing to challenge your mind's belief and insistence that there's no place for you to slow down and listen, you will find a place. The other thing I want to mention about this beautiful, empowering message is that sometimes we keep ourselves very busy by intention. Sometimes keeping busy and going non-stop every single day, filling our calendars, never resting, can sometimes come from our childhood. Sometimes, if you grew up in a crisis environment, doing was your survival. If you grew up in an alcoholic environment or a crisis environment, a lot of times you made a list and you did those things because it gave you a sense of control and it kept you safe. So there may be some real causes as to why you don't slow down and listen. Maybe the idea of slowing down, as it was for me in the beginning, is my mind of literally saying to me, you can't. You can't stop. You can't slow down. You got to get this done. You got to get this done. If you don't get that done, somebody's going to get it done before you. Like, you can just hear the insanity that the mind can spew if you don't know how, like I do and like you do, to now put your hands on your heart and say, I know. I know you think I have to keep going. I know you think this is urgent. I know you think I have to do one more thing before I call it a night. But guess what? We're going to call it a night because there's no emergency here. There's nothing urgent. All of it can wait till tomorrow. And we're going to slow down so we can listen to our breath, to our heartbeat, to ourselves, to our bodies. Sometimes it's so important to slow down and come to a full stop. Yes, to rest, but to also do what I call a body scan. How's your body doing? From your toes all the way to the top of your head. So if you are at the point in this experience where you are in the back row of the theater of your life and you are looking at how crazy busy you are, and you're starting to see that maybe you don't have to be that busy, or maybe this is why I'm so busy, and maybe this is why I don't slow down, and you're willing to compassionately unpack that and compassionately find those 5 minutes in the car at the lunch hour, in the car before you drive away, in the bathroom at work, wherever it may be. This is a reminder that you are worthy to slow down and to listen, because you never know what it is that you will hear. Thanks so much for watching.